Let me know when the ass is done. We literally had to talk about this today. I'm not even trolling, bro. Like, this is so serious to me. You look drained. That just didn't I used to say in my old reactions that watching limps kill my they drain my energy. Watching weakness, watching like suckers, like watching that shit just like you know why? Because to a certain extent you have to like neglect yourself of self love to act like that. That's what this shit is. The art. Your ads are done. To a certain extent, you have to neglect yourself of self love to act like that. This is why limping since the beginning. They are simps. I give them. I drop the S, give them an L because that's all they take. Limping has never even been about being a man, being a simp for a woman. It has been about having a low level of self dignity, self love, self appreciation, to which you would throw yourself under the bus, but for any goal. Not realizing that you are your greatest reward. You are your greatest gift. You are your greatest goal. I'll put me over anything except my own child's life, probably. Not even probably. I would sacrifice me for my children's life. Point being, we're not going that deep. I'm talking on the level of a self integrity or yeah, in God, right? I'm talking on the level of self integrity, self dignity, humility, and respect I have for myself. That I would not allow myself to do certain things. What we just watched being one of them. We talked. This stemmed from like dating advice, but as y'all know, I made this much bigger. And limping was never about being a man or a woman because it was about self dignity, honor, and self appreciation and self love. You can be like that. You can be a limp if you're a man or a woman. You can be down bad, desperate, and throw yourself under the bus, regardless of who you are. And it speaks to a level of self confidence, your relationship with yourself. And some voice in your head at least has to tell you, don't let that slide. Don't tolerate that. And then the other voice, which is the bitch or the weak link, says it's okay. Ignore yourself. Accept them. Listen to them. They won't even listen to you. They'll ignore you. So you might as well ignore yourself too and listen to them. It's quite hilarious to me. I'm the only one getting in my fucking casket. So I will stand by, defend, and respect me no matter what. It will always be you. You will always be there for yourself. Shit go left, somebody do you wrong. You don't know if they're talking behind your back. You don't know if they're doing right by you. But you better fucking do right by yourself. Cause shit hit the fan, you'll notice. You'll look around, you'll be by yourself. Listen, I had to learn this the hard way. A hard, cold way. And guess the fuck what? I never turn my back on me, ever. No matter how small. Because you go through some shit, right? End up there by yourself. Whether you be outside, whatever the fuck may be. It could be anything. Run away, fight with or argue with somebody betray you or something. It's you who were there when you were crying. It's who you that were there when you were down on your knees. It's who you were there when you hit the floor. Now it may be another person like physically, right? But it's you who was going through that. And honestly, if there are those people that were there for you, shout out to them. Look at them and honor them. Honor them for honoring you. But on a real level, only you knows what you see, what you do, and what you think. If you don't trust that, if you don't believe in that, then what the fuck do you believe in? If you don't know anything else to be real except what you see, experience, do, or don't do, or think, what else do you believe to be real? Or at least not test. Because I test my stuff. I test myself every day, all day. That's why I believe in myself. That's why I trust myself. That's where my confidence comes from. Not what I can and can't do, but not what I did and did not do or have done, or have or achieved or will achieve. But because I know who I am. I've observed myself. I've tested myself. I stood on what I believe to be important to me and know to be important to me and written out to be. This is a level of relationship with yourself that is just unshakable. And this shit ain't even about just confidence and poise and say this sentence and come off smooth and be seductive. Like this shit is so much bigger. And I think that watching that interview rubbed me so wrong because it's like I can't fathom. It was funny at first, hilarious. I can't fathom how a human being would allow somebody to do that to them. And this isn't even an against take because he did what he was supposed to do. The nigga did some slimy, grimy shit. So guess what he got in return? Some slimy, grimy treatment. It is what he deserved. I'm looking at this because I know I'm trying to get y'all to see the connection between what we just watched and how when you guys get coached or shit is broken down, that it's the same shit. You might not be out there standing around waiting for orders, handing niggas chocolate. But when she ignored you, you called her 4 times. When she ignored you, you quadruple texted her. When she canceled the date without telling you, you offered her another date. When she disrespected you in that way, you let it slide. When you had a decision you wanted to make, you let somebody convince you not to do it. And tell you know better, they know better than you know what you wanted to do. Instead of standing on yourself, what you think, what you say, and what you do, and handling the consequences that come with it, because that's how much you trust yourself. You see, we can go back to when this shit was blown. I didn't even have 5K subscribers. There was no certainty, there was no salary, there was nothing sure about this. And in fact, when I even discussed, I keep bringing this up because y'all need to understand this as a small example. I wanted to drop out and do these things. How many people called and challenged it and say, no, go to school. They trusted school more than they trusted me. Respectfully, I had to show them wrong, and they seem wrong and different now. But the point being is that when those decisions were being made, and I showed that I trust myself, and I proved that, I stood on what I knew I could do, and I knew I was going to do, even when others doubted me. And look how the fuck it rewarded me, and I'm not even done yet. Had I listened to what they thought I could and could not do or should not have done, I would not be where I am now. And that shit, bro, I'm telling y'all, chat, you the respect you have for yourself, the level of love you have for yourself when you stand on and accept what you do and what you say. Like I said, when I decided to go against all the better advice from older people, more wise people I respect, to drop out and do this shit or commit to this shit, I would have had to face the consequences for my actions. I could have been trying to re-enroll in school. I could have been trying to get another job again. I could have been trying to pick it up from square one. I could have set myself back years from the track I was lined up on. I accepted every consequence that was going to come from my actions because I believed in me. It's that simple. It doesn't get easier than that. It doesn't get harder than that. You do or you don't. And I really had to talk about that, bro. Because all that correlates into communication. All that correlates into smoothness. All that correlates into that. Because you wouldn't stutter if you just said what you wanted to say. You wouldn't hesitate if you just did what you wanted to do. You wouldn't have self-doubt if you just trusted yourself and proved it through your actions. But every time you don't, every time you slip out of it, every time you bullshit, every time you wait, every time you procrastinate, every time you lie to yourself, every time you beat around that bush like we just watched, it's a part of you that looks at it and it says, I don't know what that part of I would call that part of yourself. Let's call it your true self. Let's call it every time you bullshit, beat around the bush, lie, cheat, steal, or BS, or run in fear and hide. It's a part of you that says, It doesn't even say anything. It says nothing. It doesn't judge you, right? It doesn't judge you. It just sees you for who you are. And that part of you is the most firm and strong part of yourself. It doesn't judge you. That's the key. It does not judge you. It has no opinion of you. It just sees you for who you are, as you are. And it observes you. And that's the part of you you can't lie to. That's the part of you that knows you're lying. That's the part of you that knows you're bullshitting. That's the part of you that does not trust the you pretend to be. I'm telling you, I had to have this conversation, bro. And y'all might be like, what the fuck does this have to do with this guy handing out chocolate at the door? You would never. We can laugh, but like that is like, bro. Beat me up, bro. Like I'm taking the L, bro. I beat me up, bro. Beat me up. I'm hopping the gate, bro. I'm spitting on your food, bro. I'm stepping on it. Like I'm totally disrespecting you. Like beat me up. I'll take the L for it. Like that's the smaller L to me. I'm sorry. It is. Some people may disagree. Some people might say, oh, well, he left with the camera. He left with some recording anyway. He got to talk to Tatum. Nah, beat me up, man. Yeah, just go ahead, smack me up, man. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna die on my back, man. I ain't going out like that. Not on my knees. I swear, it's like I remember I saw the movie 300, and I was like 8 or 9 years old, bro. I will never fucking forget that movie. Dog took those 300 men and ended the movie dying for his country, dying for his children, dying for his wife, dying for his dog. Died on his fucking shield for his soldiers right next to them before he would kneel before that other king. Some people may see it as selfish. Oh, but it is. It's about the honor. I mean, y'all see what happens when these kind of concepts don't exist. What would happen if we lived in a world full of mats and there were like 10 people telling everybody what to do and how to do it, and them agreeing and them listening? It's slavery. There's no other thing to call it. It's literally slavery, bro. It's dangling something of value above a person's head. You name what the value is. It could be for y'all, a lot of y'all in this dating shit, a pretty woman's approval. For him, it may have been his job, his boss, and his contract. For you, it may be what people think of you. Y'all will do anything but defend yourself and stand on your own name. God. Like, I would be willing. Matt, was the paycheck worth it? Maybe. You know what's crazy, chat? Guess how smart your true self is. Guess how universally intelligent it is. This is what we call intuition. But it's universal intelligence. It knows what it knows that it knows. It's wiser than your years. This is why when you trust it, people call you wise, and you know, blah, blah, blah. It's not smart. It's wise. It's a universal intelligence that you tap into when you trust yourself and you become authentic, right? I guarantee you, a part of him. Remember, I said no matter what you do, that part of you just listens and says, it doesn't judge you though, right? I bet you when the first phone call happened and he said, "Will you bring me chocolate?" Back to the very first thing. I bet you there's a part of him that says, he's not going to let you get that interview. Even if you buy the chocolate and bring it, he's not going to let you do it. I'll be willing to bet every dollar I have to my fucking name to say that there's a part of him that said, "Don't do it. It's bullshit." And he would ignore his better part of himself for his boss, for the inner. I'm telling you, it's just so obvious, bro. It's like that your intuition speak to you. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, it's the divinity seated within you. I'm telling you. They call it intuition, confidence, divine, whatever you call it, bro. It's like, it's just a part. Your higher self knows, and we can label it whatever we want. The gut, what's your gut tell you? Call it what you want. It knows, though. You can choose to ignore it if you want to. You can choose to believe it. You can choose to do what you want to do with that information. Third eye, you could call it what you want.